Public service comes with rules that aren't optional. They're designed to keep power in check. And today I want to talk about what public servants are ethically obligated to do and why these obligations protect all of us. I'm Ashleigh Axios, founder of Public Servants, where we help government teams strengthen public systems through design and strategy, as well as care centered leadership. This video is a practical overview of the ethical responsibilities that guide public service and how they connect to something bigger: healthy democracy built on public trust. In the United States, public servants, both government employees as well as contractors, have a clear ethical obligation to place loyalty to the public above private or individual gain, as well as to uphold the Constitution, the law, and the principles that guide ethical conduct. And there are several responsibilities that support that. I'll name four key ones. First, loyalty to the public. Every decision should begin with a question of what serves the public best. Second, impartiality. Public servants must avoid getting into preferential treatment, giving preferential treatment to any individual organization. And fairness isn't just a value here, it has to be a requirement and a foundation for trust. Third, no private gain. Government roles cannot be used to enrich oneself or others, and that includes using non public information for personal benefit. Fourth, honest effort. Public servants are expected to give an honest days or weeks, etc., work to avoid making commitments they aren't authorized to make. So there's a consistency in what they provide, um, doing the full work, and being accountable to do what they say that they will do. Together, these expectations aren't just compliance checkboxes, they're the kind of daily behaviors that create the conditions that allow for public trust. Trust depends on ethical conduct, transparency, and consistent follow through. And it depends on the public believing that the government acts with integrity, not for private interests. And that belief has to be built on a foundation that supports it. There's some nuance here I want to add. Bureaucracy often gets a bad reputation, but structure isn't always a barrier. Sometimes it's actually a safeguard. Processes, checks, balances, verification steps, audit trails exist in part to prevent abuses of power, protect sensitive and personal information, and to ensure that decisions are made fairly. This is to protect the public. So, of course, not all bureaucracy works as intended. Some things get really out of date and don't serve as they initially did or are supposed to. And a lot of it needs modernizing. This said, eliminating structure entirely really doesn't serve the public. Eliminating structure entirely really doesn't serve the public. It actually exposes the public, it exposes us and makes us vulnerable. So the goal isn't to have no bureaucracy. The goal is the right amount of structure, enough to protect people, protect their interests, protect their privacy, respect their autonomy without creating unnecessary burden. For individuals in roles that are designated as public trust positions, you already know, right? This requires background investigations. For those who aren't aware, though, this helps ensure that those individuals have the integrity and the reliability that's needed for sensitive responsibilities that they will um, be allowed to conduct. And these checks aren't punitive, they're protective, again, of the public. So trust isn't only built through rules, it grows through repeated positive interactions, or it breaks down because of repeated negative interactions. And through the positive interactions, it takes accountable leadership, transparent communication, honoring commitments. And it grows when we lift up those public servants who deliver on their responsibilities with this kind of care, transparency, accountability, and kind of honoring of commitments and their responsibilities every day. It grows when institutions are ethical and thoughtful to pause, reflect, improve, and communicate with honesty and humility. And that means communicating where there are areas for improvement and what is, as well as what's going right and well. At Public Servants, my business here, we see trust as something earned through disciplined presence, daily choices that embody integrity, excellence, stewardship, courage, and collective care. When trust is strong, public systems work better for everyone involved. So if you're committed to strengthening trust in government, to ethical leadership, or public centered design, hopefully all of the above, you're in exactly the right place. Subscribe to get more resources and join conversations about building public systems that truly serve the people who rely on them. Thank you.